Age by John Kenyon. Full oft your planing with an age of faculties and feelings die, that maybe with thinker sage to think like you, yet plain not I. When sick we've grown of pride and show, why should our striving strength live on? Why should love appear to go, when all we cared to love are gone? Apparitions by John Kenyon. If, as they say, the dead a while return, sent or permitted from their shadowy bourne, yet not, or so we trust, shall every ghost in his old guise reclaim our mortal coast. That spurial, if once more among us thrown, come back in any shape except his own. While Phyllis, youth frank and debonair, do you return, though they think you were. Astronomy by John Kenyon. Lucinda, Lucinda, where all this abstraction? May astronomy hold no communion with mirth? Stars, comets, eclipses, have these such attraction to steal you from our mad pleasures of earth? You who lately would sporty fly, flirt in and than at dinner or ball, grown so graven of thrice, have you found, pretty Plato, so far with our planet, you must needs flee to Saturn to borrow his eyes? Just how it once happened, I well can remember, for seasons, like souls, ever out of tune, at frost and fast falling sleet of December, came to cover the freshness and glory of June. Like some beautiful prude, all coldness and brightness, the landscape shone chill in its dazzle of snow. Yet it was but a surface of flawness and whiteness, for green herb gave froward were springing below. That the genial spirit of summer, indignant that winter should thus reintrude on its reign, calls fire to aid, and the fervent benignant woke its valley to gladness and beauty again. So too, sweet astronomer, I shall reawaken from these visions remote amid comet and star, and learn how your truants are ever mistaken, how in pleasures to leave to find new ones afar, make but sign from the ark, that each joyful backcomer over deluge of signs shall speed like the dove. Fond beamings from friendship unfreeze thee like summer, or warmer than friendship some braving from love. And when telescoped close and unpuzzled by airy, where opera glass ruin pleasant to view, should folk happen to smile at your skyward vagary, why could swerve it, the stars then fold, and not you? Attica Mella by John Kenyon. The bees, sir, won't sting you, and why this ado? For honey will never make honey of you, and to why select such a flavorless fellow, at least attend upon Attica Mella. Blushing by John Kenyon. Cloris cannot help but blush to meet the dark and glancing eye. Sport if you mark the sudden flush, and feign surprise and wonder why. Or have you seen the frozen stream that wakes beneath a sunny ray, dances in the gentle beam, and leaps to feel the touch of May? Have you viewed with young surprise the dew tales of heat or rain, watched till thy sparkling fluid rise and drop along the crystal vein? Thus, Cloris, the dark eyes speak, quickened by them the blood will start, swift speeds a current to my cheek, as it's found with my heart. Bordighiera by John Kenyon. Graceful palms of Bordighiera, bending over the Riviera, though by Devon's wave we've seen beeching groves brightly green, the light-leafed linden trees quivering in the soft sea breeze, and have loved them all the more, clustering on our native shore, yet your palms of Bordighiera, bending o'er this Riviera, growth in yours was never fair, graceful palms of Bordighiera. Brook of Sanguinetto by John Kenyon. We win where least we care to strive, and wherever most we strive, we miss. Old Hannibal, if now alive, might sadly testify to this. He lost the Rome for which he came, and what he never had in petto, won for this little brook a name, its mournful name of Sanguinetto. Casa Mia by John Kenyon. Or with born of a huge Missouri rushing here to fall alone, bears the Mississippi dowry of waters than his own, has never learned like me from the years of infancy of unsated love to look on one own dear little brook. Or hast felt the treeless prairies in its awful sameness spread, countless leagues that never vary, wide will nice ocean's bed, hast never learned like me from the years of infancy at the price of a hedgerow bound of one tiny plot of ground. For hast dreamed the endless thoughts cluster on a realm of trees, and to hear thee half abhorrest any woods least waste than these, for thou ne'er hast learned like me from the years of infancy how to laugh with laugh unbroke some one tree with one old oak. Wont woven of such thy notion, prairie forward flung afar, and wise streams whose mighty motion meets the tides of equal war, would accord meanwhile to me, would have laughed from infancy, as one tree with hedgerow nook, my own dear little brook. Destiny by John Kenyon. Strange, poor, mysterious deity, thou who dost love to sit alone, with moveless lip and brooding eye, close beside the eternal throne, from the goddess' forming hand, the globe leapt forth, they gave command, that thou shouldst guard the circling sphere, and guide, and balance, and control the mighty mass, the breathing soul, and heat the vast machinery roll, through time's immortal year. Or may it be, as some have thought, that from the very birth of time, while yet his whirling globe was not, the primal spirit ruled sublime, wherewith the mighty being came, to forge this world in human frame. He felt thy power no less than we, but learned how thou for good and ill hadst doomed an endless course to wheel, or curbed e'en his wide shadowing will, reluctantly to thee. Before or since, effect or cause, or limited, yet say, oh, whence those dooming laws? Or his divine so dark, so dread? Anger was it, or mirth? Gibet oppression walk the earth, torturing race of source and chain, while flaunts on despot on the throne, by treachery reared and blood bestrown, by cause-cured dungeon grown, askance to heaven in vain. Have virtue then no saving force? Have justice no prevailing might to stay with swift chariot's course, dark as eclipse and swift as light? And of only one eternal chain, evil and good, and bliss and pain, all links alike to thee. Rude forms that breathe, high souls that feel, met and heard, and a human will stand all with one proportionate seal to work one blind decree. Man sings in musing wanderlust, meanwhile his bark, with shattered sail, vast verging to some unknown coast, hurries adown the unslackening gale. With the gathering mysteries, in vain for glimpse of light he tries to trace his course, to read his doom. He fears the sea, he dreads the shore and darkness, thickening more and more, till hope and fear and suffering o'er are exit him on the tomb. One, for many a change of grief, full sorely tried, these words were spoken, but heaven pity sent relief to troubled brain and heart half broken. The self-same star, the serene land, that led of old the magic band, uplit for him that night of pain, and beamed on that despairing sight, first flush of morning light, a clasping haven, calmly bright, beyond life's stormy main. Earthly parting, John Kenyon. Had heaven to pray of mine more kind, but snapped my thread of being first, and now how, lingering here behind, wouldst have deemed the lot the worst. Thou wouldst have shed the tear on my coldly silent bier. But this, alas, might not be so, and I remain to weep for we, and still weep on, for well I know this parting is but life's decree, that doomed to leave, or left forlorn, we must be mourned for, or must mourn. Eclipse, John Kenyon. Moon, that the broader light, helped lover's prayer by night. No eclipse have wheeled thee over, doubly help lover, as the beams that shrouded be win to like mystery. Now when stars alone do shine, with my loved one's brow incline, sweet obscura over mine. When, while chaste the vocal sips from her, hereto guarded lips, ever bless each bland eclipse. Experimentum Crucis by John Kenyon. With different colour glows each ray that joins to feed the solar day, yet each commingling as they pass, they lose distinction in the mass, the iris hues grown tintless quite, sent wandering at their own pure white. You prove it wide with sifting lens, no more as cheats the dazzled sense, but retransmuted to the view beams back its red or green or blue. No less in every church congregation's opinions colours are as the rise. No less each hue with other looks to form the pure white orthodox, but scorns or lover shade, sectarian, plain Quaker drab or haft and Arian. And if, as philosophic uses, we try Experimentum Crucis, to find if what so widely beams, being good sooth a thing it seems. For moral lens and varying streak, whose the lines diverge and break, observe how rule of faith refracts from doctrine here and there from facts. Many a lurking tinge comes out on intersecting lines of doubt, and the broad stripe of skepticism see how it flashes from the prism. In prudence, now we break the glass, we must view churches but in mass, no split to nicety to focus opinions, jumbled hocus pocus. More, churches, hence take heed, and give the tolerance which ye need. Your widest orthodox effulgent, worth no one ray from wise indulgence. Flowers from Waterloo by John Kenyon. They spring on no ignoble soil, 'twas on the field of Waterloo. Our culture was a battle toil, and many heroes' blood our due. Yet fares others plants that breath the peaceful sweats we flourish, no. Oh, where they find a fitter ref for patriots of a soldier's brow. For the Sisters' Album by John Kenyon. Soft lace that dwell on lips and eyes, long since with me half had the day. At 50, hearts grow cold or wise, if spook receives the grey allay. Ill suits the would-be youthful rhyme, clutched in for keeping all the worse. Calm holding pen, ground stiff by time, in limpid monotone verse. He who fawningly deceives his flatteries, hereby fain to the right. Then button volume close the leaves, like flowers that shut them from the night. Rods them every breeze that sighs, and they who tend thee, sister pair, shall cut their blossom from surprise, vulgar touch or playful air. Inwit reckless in his game might favour bloom, but bid a sneer. Though dignified with satyr's name, let him not bring his canker here. But here, with open-hearted laugh, our friendship here inscribe his strain, then gentle book, each fear remove, with reliefs expand again. And reads its second-sighted eyes, to know that both shall hither come, so love perchance and friendship's guise, joined to fleet the flowers bloom. Oh, if she, the matron muse, loving mother and the dear, some lay off hers should interfuse, as sunny dew to bright and clear, then flow of albums, clasp the gem, shinks amid the leaves, tower the freshened hues, and stride a stem, happy, fond, rejoicing flower. Freedom by John Kenyon. 'Tis not because fierce swords are flashing there with license and the reckless scorn of life, when from some petty god upstarts a strife, that feeling they must harbour, slavery's air breed, many a livid satrap prompt to tear, and so deserves a ready wear and drive to march the summons of a jerking fife. And where swords as some are turned to blood-shares, where others not rest for the household earth, peaceful pomp the cradled babe hung, and such as reverence and holy earth, and marriage bells of holy cheer are rung, there freedom drills, constraint sublime reward. A beast must rear her, e'en a war must guard. From Anacreon by John Kenyon. Sing the old reader, sing my lyre of Cadmus, but the lyre refusing only sing of love. Strings and lyre I changed to a chaunt of great Alcides, still the lyre responded to naught but notes of love. Farewell, then, to heroes, for time remains me, since my lyre will echo thoughts alone of love. Gossip by John Kenyon. Gossip right, left, you strowing, never heeding what you do. Which idle word you sowing, friend and neighbor long may you. Remarked or lately losing, still from yonder green held side, you but on your sport with choosing, swift down to see it glide. You looked pale though within a hurry, like a mad thing just released, treating work for judge and jury, wild at the drift of man and beast. Think then, chatterer, amid your doing, for ours not you rue. Her very seed your strewing may spring up, ill seed for you. Humane travailer, you behold him, smitten sore by avalanche. Wiser heats and vain had told him on to move, silent staunch. Whose own sad cup he's drinking, word of whisper woke to the fall, which is so lamed, and left him thinking what word was cause of all. Growing attachment by John Kenyon. The freshness and pleasant sensation of morning, as yet all unconsciousness of hope or of plan, as we gleams forth and hazes the prospect of dawning, 'twas thus the dawn of attachment begun. If the friendship or love, if we knew not fully surely, but yet 'twas delicious to saunter along, not quite questing thither, but feeling securely, with such omens around us, we couldn't go wrong. If hearts was uncertain, for hearts half fair weather, for many a path we threaded and grove, till at last, so it fell, we stood plied together in the right in the presence of love. We've plied at the end now, as your mid-sun is beaming face of morning long-eyed strife, so love is moving further is streaming and quickening all around us the landscape of life. If mists give her o'er, he awakens and enlightens, so his glance and magic will ever fall, magic the present, the future that brightens, that modifies, beautifies, glorifies all. Thus when sigh his duration distrusting, and deems for such brilliance never can last, that sun shall wax fainter, that hearts will be rusting, and that lovers must weep over happiness past. What a glorious at midday the mast of heaven, the yard Celestia, has land rays apart, and half not love too is mighty glorious of even, his warm peaceful hues, his soft skies for the heart, and such of the colours as hand shall shed over us, when youth's throbbing pulse shall to calmness give peace, enough that, when silence and darkness shall cover us, we felt his full flame, but die with the rays. They feel it, beloved, they do not deceive us, who say that hereafter some welcoming shore to the home of yet brighter existence receive us, to love, as we know love, and to part more. Growing Old by John Kenyon. Scheiß lady, say not so, say not you are growing old. Is a tale that well you know fits me most truly told. Then shall lady be more bold, say not you are growing old. Gloomy face, surface graces, pretty prattle here or nigh. Smiles all empty, meant to tempt ye, these indeed may fade away. And of smiles that beam from sense, and the eyes intelligence, and the voice feeling formed, but the word of serious thought. As such judgment ever lowly, these by charms that fade but slowly. In yonder new-found world where I say, when summer suns have passed away, and autumn cloud and fog and rain, and wind and cold are come again, with all this tristful weather strived of a new summer start to live. The Indian summer call they this, and calm they say, and bright it is, more calmly bright, more sweetly gay, and that which late hath passed away. Lady, thou hast felt the touch of sickness and of sorrow much, and they must shall both be past, like that singing autumn blast, which yet sing of augury of good seasons soon to be. Brighter sun shall rise before thee, softer breezes shall flit o'er thee, we shall have an Indian summer, and we will welcome the newcomer. Happiness by John Kenyon. A face I saw, whose outward calm all in that peace might well express, and whose, I asked with brow of balm, her name they said was Happiness. And what of those fair bands, I cried, by which in either hand she bears? Just such round Cupid's eyes that hide, and such eternal justice words. Who would be happy? 'Twas replied, all coming hours must one be cast, and one, leave the truth inside, must jot the memory of the past. Hymn to the Poets by John Kenyon. Brother Bard, I dream for nourish, through new fancy or no truth. With the sons of fame to flourish, one must lean on heart of youth. Youth is eager, youth elastic, plieth both to old and new. Age deems all but old fantastic, and of novel gorgeous hue. Youth is yet of time and thrifty, poets sung will stay to hear. Bent on business, gravy at 50, to the charmer stops his ear. Bring us back, you wandering Homer, glorious peddler, poem-packed. Readers old to greet the Roma with a clothesome vagrant act. Count not on your fresh creation, living Homer backed as bread. Was the second generation, twined riff for Homer dead. In a portrait gallery by John Kenyon. In vain, bright girl, you bid us mark each charm of portrait round us thrown, when sight and soul alike are dark to every face except your own. And while your incarnation is true, all perfect save in the ideal, the proof and false return to you and find all perfect in the real. Inscription for Vase by John Kenyon. In elder Greek, the fostering liberty, nursed kindling genius to adventure high, some master hand achieved this urn of grace, when was stored at all we fondly place, from precious ringlet for the sacred head of him, to more than Grecian virtue bred, or for a struggling country freedom won, heroic, self-controlling Washington. Stranger, doth charm of art, thy soul inspire, yet more, doth freedom's flame thy bosom fire, then own that votary's hand, that e'er consign a rare relic to a worthier shrine. Inscription for an Eagle's Foot by John Kenyon. Me Lucerne nursed amid the blaze of day, me long on strangling plumber winked my way, every peck around the mountain coast our Phoenicus loved to hover most, and watched at eve the ever-burning flame, and from his storied summit quivering came, or stopped to scan amid the valleys lone, once famous cities, no but fabling stone. At last to earth down circling all too nigh, Chimera's birthplace, Gregos saw me die. What he remains was born on British prow, by Xanthian pilgrim home, I serve him now. An envoi to a poem on tolerance by John Kenyon. Go, little book, thine own disciple be, and learn to tolerate those who turn from thee. A love to scorn or in oblivion sunk, go, little book, and learn to lie in a trunk. Some rainbow traveller in enuous despair may cast a moment's notice on thee there. My last sad hope and pride deserves such shocks like hers of old at bottom of a box. Lines for a Scrapbook by John Kenyon. Gay register of harmless mirth, record of dear domestic hours, the vote of hand which gave thee birth, nor wretches the parting page with flowers. Such mirth is reason's virtuous treasure, and they who a life's scrapbook closes have felt the least of guiltless pleasure, shall find the thinnest rotten roses. Lines sent to Elia by John Kenyon. Elia, for irony of hearts the mender, may this pig prove like wine on path was tender. Beers of thy sageness in its sage zest, and quaintly crackle like the crackling jest. and drive about rich inly as the wit, worthy is what worthy it. P.S. Beside the stillborn, finding room to spare, begs kind acceptance of himself a hair, and since being sylvan he but ill indites, hopes he may eat much better than he writes. Love in Disguise by John Kenyon. Unscarred through beauty's thorny ways be mine, I said henceforth to rove. Too long I've love consumed my days, but now I shut my heart to love. The Godhead heard, and, not so, with gay malicious glance he cries, or thinks to foil my fair blow, the while the sure victim dies. And soon in friendship's shape he came, how might I the cheat divine? Nor feared I of friendship's flame, and led me to the bower of wine. Oh, has slipped the silken band, friendships it seemed to be no more. He had their own, my friendship's hand had never thrilled me so before. And in critic taste's skies made me scan each outward charm, scan them with admiring eyes, and all the thought one thought of harm. Last aged wisdom's form he wore, with wisdom would had love to do, mind, temper, heart he said explore, I found him sage and kind and true. In friendship's tastes and wisdom's skies, towards the love came my heart to move, but blindness never to submiss, but each was but a mask for love. Love by John Kenyon. Mother, I've seen a little boy with curling locks and eyes of blue, I've seen their eyes for joy, with tears like morning dew. Showed us half the things they hid, for playthings he had a bow and quiver, and while he sued as you he did, his tears came gushing like a river. And sighed once very soul to ring, soothing while a prison dove, yet still with wild, ungrateful thing, strove to be free what when he strove. Soft his youth he couldn't fail, I listened till my heart was aching, and he while he told his tale, he sobbed as if his own were breaking. Oh nay, I've been not all beguiled, all his tears and all his hewing, learn silly girl that weeping child is our undoing. You'll win me with this urgent sigh, when work we woe and laugh for joy, while woe shall stare and anguish by, all vain to melt that laughing boy. Then when again the spirit you see, you'll tell him by his present dove, run, shut the door, take quickly the key, you know not what boys love. Love's Auction by John Kenyon. Could pretty Jane be put to sale, I'd have an auctioneer invoke. Not Christie should the charms detail, but truth should dress the catalogue. And the leaves no faults would slit, no grace hitched in which Jane have not. No world would come a bit, but only love should buy the lot. Memento Vivere by John Kenyon. When life was young and pensive guise, and made it a fantastic glory to pause and sentimentalize over every sad memento mori. Dear forscon friend, in that dull place, gladly now I turn to thee, of all thy cheer wit and grace, O bright memento vivere. Midday by John Kenyon. 'Tis deepest midday, not a sound is heard, save his low insect murmur, which yet seems no voice from all capricious things of life, but some mysterious tone of earth herself, holy as silence, a shadow flits, declaring the plain, a sign of coming change, various the sky, the thinnest breath of air, wafts movement to a bore. The unsofted hills stare broadly out, as if the air had known the wailing touch of eve, and the hot sea waveless to sigh as frozen oceans are, beam steadfastly beneath the steadfast sun. Strange fixedness, which links the thoughts of old eternity, and half might seem to him broods in its deep quietude, as if the world were an unchanging thing, where all hath been so from the very first and evermore must be. Monument in Lucerne by John Kenyon. The maddened in France shook her king's palace floor, nobly heroic Swiss, you met your doom. Unflinching, marvelous to the oath he swore, each steadfast soldier faced a certain doom. Not for your own, but others' claims ye died. The steep, hard path of fealty, cold or treat, flattened or soothed, ye never turned aside, but hailed right on, the fatal duty led. Reverently stand beside the sculptured rock, your cenotaph, Helvetia's grateful stone, mark and monument the priving block, for Walden's glorious trophy in your own. Your dying lying is your monument, type of majestic suffering, the brave brute, human almost, and mighty languishment, less wounded, not subdued, and proudly mute, seems as for some great cause resigned to die. Hardly, less than hero's parting breath, speaks to the spirit through the admiring eye of courage, faith, and honorable death. Music by John Kenyon. Awake, for half of music stored, awake and let me feel thy power. Think forth and turn from every chord the thronging notes in ceaseless shower. following the measures as they rise, and floating forms of every hue shall flit before my half-closed eyes, and I will dream the visions true. Breathless I sit with streaming wires, responsive to the minstrel hand, of faded hopes and young desires come stealing back a pensive band. I know the sounds too well, thy murmuring strings are fain to move, then my memory ceased to dwell on her who laughed lay of love. For she could win thine every key, whom strains would suit a lady's bower, to fits of wildest minstrelsy for moonlight glen or lonely tower. Both swelling notes of woe, yet such the most as told of pity near, she loved them all, and every touch records my wandering thoughts to her. Vain dreams away, and vacant mood, to let my wearied heart recline. No more I call on fancy's brood, to mix a sweet harp with spells of fine. Like one who drifts an idle boat, unoared and heedless as with a bound, thus languid late, oh, let me float adown the silvery stream of sound. The softest evening's dewy sight, sweeter than summer's balmiest breath, half-conscious, half-entraced, ally, it seemed to touch the verge of death, thus beguiled, how blessed were to cross the dark and fated sea. And just escape this world of care, to wake, dwell of thee. On a Dog by John Kenyon. The happy years of deep affection pass, cottage, our faithful friend, rest here at last. We loved before love, man scarce might mate, now replace the years of sadness, great as man may own for brood. Might less be given to love so pure as wine and so unriven. Love was thy very life, thine every thought, our instincts, all to that one impulse wrought. Our words, our very looks, to we were known, the shade of feature like the touch of tone, the pensive brow might some light sour pass, such as awhile our hour of blissfulness may flit like summer cloud, soon come and gone, as when the lifted eye and wistful moan and head lay gently on the sufferer's knee, told, plain as speech, how sad with grief to thee. Or did some jailer look or word betray, or slide so the sadness passed away? Soon the gay bound found crouch, and winning wine, as plainly said how much a joy was wine. That flame of living love, today, tomorrow, the same, for circling years of joy or sorrow. But even as revolving years went by, seemed but to glow with more intensity, say, could it be created but to die? Was man's alone survive his earthly state, nor of love beside real but date, ephemeral to sink and annihilate? Vain questionings are these of, is or ought, or vain, perchance, unholy strife of thought, chase reasoning brain, these doubts that creep and steal, and cease to think, though not ashamed to feel. On a Picture, by John Kenyon. This picture the work of ancient graces fraught, or so they say, albertinely wrought, here with touching peace achieved, where met the sisters twain, visitation sweet, of which the Tuscan city, mid her crowd of miracles, and yet so justly proud. Our matchless line of years, whose generous strife reared with thriving arts to perfect life. At Petrarch's native lay, refined on love, when Angelo the impetuous chisel drove, when oracles, that stirred young Raphael's breast, spoke forth in colours clear as words expressed. For too, the pencil's scarceless gifted seer, fair as the dream the hand interprets here. How sweet an infant cries, down beaming smile, and bright Saint John, who lifts his own the while. The bliss of young maternity, how sweet, the mildly mingling saint and mother meet. Nay, more than mother's rapture, to behold a Saviour's Son, the prophet bards foretold. Of the dawning meekness that had shine in human face, found Catherine 'tis in thine. And that when present joy of all possessed, heedless the future and the past unpressed, but hers who stand near that elder boy, Margaret's, I ween is no untroubled joy. Her, methinks, the painter's hand hath sought, meanings to plant of more than common thought. A look as if with calm, yet clouded eye, had glimpsed the minglings of futurity, with the glories of each final doom foresaw not less as hers first to come. Remembrance of Sunset by John Kenyon. Where silent elms are clustering round with great church tower, which peers above, she sleeps beneath the narrow mound, who might laugh with brother's love. The snow yonder wooded height, slow drawing on his evening streak, at a glance the ray of rosy light, athwart a pale and dying cheek. Where the glorious orb of his yet hung departing in the west, amid a kindred scene like this, and now its spirits sank to rest. But ever since this westering light, these purpled hills, with flaming sea, was strakes so yonder wooded height, the beauty still are said to me. Reverie by John Kenyon. How blessed it is by blazing hearth, with many a well-loved friend beside, and harp and wine and graceful mirth to mock December's stormy pride. And blessed it is by studious light, the gusty wind unheard the while, that cheat the fast receding night, with poet summer's sage's toil. I not less for hour my prize, when glowing embers fill the room, and fitful flame with flaps and eyes teach light to counterfeit the gloom. But when I sit and dream again the visions of departed years, a winding road of joy and pain, a varied view of smiles and tears. I think on days of youthful trust, on loves and friendships changeful will, on some estranged and some in dust, and one or two that love me still. When the bitter, the sweet, too deeply mixed, bit memory grown, at fancy lends a dear deceit to mold a future on my own. A call from forth a boundless scope, whoe'er of beautiful or rare, ever fed my youthful hope, and built me fair dooms in air. How floating up bright forms ideal, mistress or friend, around me stream, half sense supplied and half unreal, like music mingling with a dream. Yet firm as faith of young romance, we weave a spell within my breast, buried in delicious trance, twixt truth and falsehood I am blessed, and since it is the hour I prize, glowing embers fill the room, and fitful flame with flaps and eyes teach light to counterfeit the gloom. Ringlets by John Kenyon. Ringlets knit by Cupid's spread, and such of avarice proved to fee. The strong the mesh, the fine the thread, and the vain will struggle to be free. But soon like fresh snut falcon bold, or fierce at first, his plumage swells, you too shall learn to love the hold of ladies' leash and hood and bells. Or would you flee? She smiles, secure that, though while escape the chain, it's through watching for the lure to perch upon her wrist again. Rufus Tree by John Kenyon. Over new forests heath hills bare, down steep ravine by shaggy wood, a pilgrim wandered, questing where the relic tree of Rufus stood. Whence in New England's day of old, rushing on retribution's wing, the arrow, so tradition told, glanced to the heart of tyrant king. Some monument he found, which spoke what erst had happened on the spot. I thought that old avenging oak, decaying long since, he found it not. Yet I have a tyrant's hinterland, let trees like this be found to grow. Never may a turtle's hand be lacking there to twang the bow. Sappho by John Kenyon. Through graceful portals led to Sappho's bower, two fitly graceful portals. By the one winning group, the syren senses stood, chanting their sweet temptation, while the other was fondly guarded by the muses 9. Love chose, for so it seemed, wisely apart and prayed the gentle muses. But no sooner, in blunt compliance with the pruder prayer, that the valves opened and those wayward senses at their own gate, and thrust them in with him. Proud of a freak gate tumultuous throng, first they found that 'twas delusion all. Must such delusions hold them evermore? Those separate groups, this unfantastic dream of double gates, in sooth, were one. Second Love by John Kenyon. There forgetting him who loves but once, Romance my lord, but Cupid doubts for dance, and jeers and mocks him on from pain to pain, who would have sworn him ne'er to love again, and forged himself new links and chafed at his own chain. There are who drink intoxicate to be in some, because intoxicate already. E'en like these last, I snatched the cup from thee, tied to my lip with hand unsteady. A draught it was, for whence fond hopes at first beat round the heart, and then, like bubbles, burst. But though I knew the treachery of the cup, although the heap and I drained it up, and now has all repentingly a lie, like some slow sobering quaffer, wonder why. Suggested by the death of Charles Skinner Matthews by John Kenyon. Joyously launched on life's untravelled streams, you fierce no open sea nor treacherous bay. Gay voyager, whose widely devious way fond hope and fancy cheer with mingled gleams, yet fondly deem not of those cloudless beams that hither morn shall wait the closing day. Autumnal storms must rend the blooms of May, life's first blisses fade like very dreams. And blessed are they who, at the current's heat, have quaffed the gushing waters cold and clear, and tracked them downward to the oozy bed, and hailed the morning sapphire's freshening breath. Then the gathering winds of night were here, seek peacefully the silent couch of death. The Broken Appointment by John Kenyon. I sought at morn the beechen bower, the verdant grot, it came, it then the promised hour, I found thee not. Light sapphires from the quivering boss soon brushed the transient dew, first I feared that love's unvows the transient too. Leave I sought a well-known stream where, wont to rove, your breaths of but twilight gleam our woes of love. I stopped upon the pleasant brink, and saw the wave glide past. Ah me, I could not help but think, love glides as fast. All along the moonlight glens, a soft fair, I sought the truant steps again, but were not there. The crowd sailed on the busy way, forth the burning moon, and such I said, love's fitful ray, and reigns soon. I had called for a ref of blossoms there, at night flowered drops benneth the chill night air. It's past, long past our latest hour, yet our heart not nigh, our love for art indeed the flower, born but to die. The Gods of Greek, by John Kenyon. Ye gods of Greek, bright fictions, when ye ruled of old a happier race, mildly born rejoicing men, bonds of beauty and of grace. Worship was the service light, and duty pattern easy bliss, a white-hued fanes at every height, when for the sparkling world was this. Creation then but newly born, failed of the glowing trust of youth, and pulses yet were all unworn, and poesy was the very truth. And gods were spread through earth and air, and looked or spoke in sigh or sound, and who but laughed to worship there, their waver mingling all around, not when was yonder radiant sun, the globe of fire, as now they say. Phoebus urged his chariot on, guiding God, and made the day. Joy held each of whom he moaned, some fond presiding or attended, and yet spent by every fount, from which a gushing stream is candid. Was Daphne's voice, so taught the creed, that murmured from yon laurel tree, the stirrings of the hollow reed outside a plaintive melody. The birds sent forth with fervent thrill, as Philomel the song supplying, and Venus wept on yonder hill, where young Adonis god and dying. And then with perfume airs came breathing at eve from off the Aegean shore, while little waves the wild foam surfing, the keen-hued deeps were fleecing o'er the mountain cave beneath the rock, as the fires outsped the breeze, as Wolf was leading forth his flock to feed along the verdant seas. The gods, not when they hailed at scorn, the maid with old Lucian's race, many demigod was born, fit progeny from such embrace. And deeper faith and tenser fire, fit sculptors chisel poets pen, and nobler themes might art require than gods on earth and godlike men. Yea, gods, when watched with loving care, or such at least the fond belief, in lifeless things of earth and air, the cloud, the stream, the stem, the leaf. Iris the goddess, tinged the flower, with more than merely rainbow hues. Great Jove himself sent down the shore of freshened earth with healing dews. In beauty's self more beauteous seemed, than came and the gold could thread, and youth to fancy youthlier beamed, and souls were more heroical. Where human stood the priest, the heart and sweeter bonds for an hour was wit. Now life more gently seemed to part, when 'twas the pregnant the fret, and temples shone like palaces in game, and victor's corner, and feastal dance, with flowers and trees, and song and boats, the sacred all. E'en at the last doomed hour of death, no terror scared, there have but room. A kiss beguiling the parted breath, the genius welcomed to the tomb. If but the willing graces bent our deed, or read with smiling approving, if but the muses gave consent, or cheered perchance of accent loving, the gods forbade no pleasure, then, nor doomed it sin, nor held it folly, but deigned to share the joys of man, the beautiful, still the holy. Where those gods so deigned to share our mortal pleasures, downward bending, we too there inferior in air, noble strive upward tending. Generous creeds that blossomed forth, with southern graces so oft our bowers, but blithe when from our bitter north have hared our hues and shrunk our flowers. The proud for earlier leading strings, so well disdains each old ideal, and clutched of Mabroisic things, plots heavenly life's sullen real. Dearly against mice, just lofty brow, pen woodnyms all are gone. Bright as ye were, bright fictions, no, ye live in poet's dream alone. The Joy of Grief, by John Kenyon. Vain you touch the dancing lyre, attuned to softest notes of peace, while the soothing of the lyre can bid the father's anguish cease. The pang which youth's while bosom rings, the deeper woe of manhood's stage, may melt before the breathing strings, but not the settled griefs of age. I to those strings once laughed full well, and woke a daughter's hand the measure, and love and music joined the spell that made each note a thrill of pleasure. Hope too stood by in every sound, with omen blunt interpreted. The hope is now crowned, and ear and heart alike are dead. A slight, not so the minstrel strain, nor all his precious power forgo. Woe now each blind cadence pain, heart bleeds with reason woe. If oft thy sons in grief have said, if still thy skies may seem o'ercast, these chords can soothe the present yet, and pluck its bitter from the past. All thy soul their calm shall creep, like friendship's sympathizing tone, and links set their thoughts to sleep, to tender memories wake alone, and sweet as eloquence of bard or sage shall breathe relief, and win we, through the charmed sense, to our land the joy of grief. The Surprise, by John Kenyon. I marked the grave, and none like air, then all beside the gay and free, and true I said the face is fair, but it was near enough for me. And hers, I grant, are speaking eyes, hers is brow thoughtful mould, as will never win the wise, willing the heart to calm and cold. For me a frost so chill and deep, a cannot tell for its breaking. We sleeping beauties, let them sleep, I never knew one worth the waking. And so I talk till, on a day, lulled by now, not what a vagary, she puts such store of charms in play, such full graces, smites I, with cadence like music strung, and sends the feelings so commingling, that I was stayed and not too young, felt like rest my bosom tingling. A foolish tingling, yet so dear and idle, yet so sweet pain, I knew not if to wish or fear, but she were calm or cold again. The Travelled Oyster by John Kenyon. An oyster upon oozy bed, like his fourth of us, born and bred, it changed, was weft far and wide, the force of wind and force of tide. Nor are there wanting folk to say, he drifted fairly round the bay. At last he drifted back again, the very finest one met ken of travelled oyster gentlemen. For though ne'er out of his own shell he saw, or thought he saw as well, and was, or deemed himself, as wise as fishes who use fins and eyes. And secret news he yields to none, knows all the deeds by muscles done. Mong limpets what dark plots are hatching, what territory prawns are snatching, and has for information glimpse of coming war among the shrimps. On all who harbour within his reach, for 'tis his darling pride to teach, he rolls the ton which none may quell, while every brother of a shell is sadly bound to stand the shock, chained like Prometheus to his rock. And, reader, we have seen, I wis, full many a dull-brained fish like this, who having drifted Europe round, floats back at last to his old ground. And though, like oyster, shut the fin, his hulky shell he naught have seen, yet still in ride of foreign travel assumes to talk, instruct and cavil. Speak of church, he quotes St. Peter's, and watch he cites Benedictus repeaters, and e'en the trout on which we dine would have been better from the Rhine, while we, sharebound and wretched quite, are forced to feign mean and polite. Good reader, word I was to choose, such ne'er should quit the native oaths, or at least should hit the track which brings them for torture back. The Two Harps by John Kenyon. It tarried on the strains to hang, out floating from yon ancient trees, strains from two airy harps that rang responsive to the minstrel breeze, one chaunting to the windward wood, swing full on every gazer's eye, the other, far within the wood, that breathed its hermit melody. This told a tale of naught but gladness, of frolic nymphs on tiptoe stealing, and feats of wine of festive madness. Gay fawns with dances, zephyrs reeling, the other sides so sad a tone, methought some desolate child of air had made those very strings his own, to vent heart-broken anguish there. Each harp was sweet, yet wild, not vain, filled with a sense the livelier din, but our sweetest, saddest strain, my inmost spirit drank it in. When deem not, Evelyn, but ever full a glance of glee, for we my steadfast faith can win, from we my gentlest love from we. Enow in mid yon blazing room, a dream of joy she floats inspired, come to court the tender gloom, and others laughter set required. And while she bids the rest rejoicing, the winning word and the winning while, turn to catch the plaintive voice, that flee to win the thoughtful smile. At frolic from her dark eyes peep, mine with the blue, which teardrops fill, for if a charm of joy strike deep, her pensive spells sink deeper still. We choose not ill the lot to choose, by John Kenyon. I choose not ill the lot to choose, or quietly to live and die, by signs sheltered or the muse in unpretending privacy. Bright epitaph, the world's acclaim, is asked for not, if in their room some few but laugh of thy living name, and household tears bedew the tomb. Time, by John Kenyon. Like as one, while pursuing, shouts more his captured foe, spite of all thy fleetest doing, now, for slave, behind me go. Sort of time, ostrich and smoother, following, fast and fast, thy strong hand on the forward future consigns them to the past. To Echo, by John Kenyon. Why, jeering Echo, was renew my pain, give him mine own sorrows back again? Speak to woes who hail thee and rejoice, nor render grief's involuntary voice. If to these rocks and plaintive mood I come, in trust I came, for I believed them dumb. And if one name I spoke on trust to free, to silence it was spoken, not to we. To Isaac Walton, by John Kenyon. Walton, the angler, when a school-fed boy, of varnished rod and silken tackle proud, I sought the brooks, while some stilly pool, still, or stirred only by the gentle rest, lay stretched at noon and watched my trembling float, hold my sole companion. I conned studious the right precepts are. Though since then for many a taste be changed, and the fish's simple sport no more wins from light sleep, yet a streaky dawn half tinged the steaming wave of yellow light. The caves were lingering on the grassy brink, till sober night befallen, all eyes hushed by the silent moon, save only heard the stream's faint ripple and the leaping trout. with its a flashing in the silvery beam, startling the gentle pause, and pressing it. Was interrupted deeper on the heart, yet still out man, a love soothing power, the rural landscape's breath, like vernal breeze, freshening the soul. A love for pastoral songs, was simple chauntings of the elder time, a contemplative vein, with a sweet content, even an antique phrase of charms for me. Along its woods and skies and water-rich shores, its springs and summers change and changeful hours, have powerful pleasure, or shall place me still. Now, O interlocks, the stilly lake and the fasted forest and stately winding streams rest motionless and prittling brooks are mute. By my warm hearth at evening's thoughtful hour, I love to sit and turn thy charmed page till, answering to the gentle sorcery, fair images and thoughts, that slumbered long of parted years awake, and memory let once more seem to tread the banks of Dove, whose verdant banks, and list as waters flow and catch its eddies, glittering in the sun, breathing the freshness of a second spring, while all my boyish days revive again. To my friend Joseph Ritchie, by John Kenyon. Ritchie, to whom it should be given to view and trace, none worthier, with strange rivers swell, but is its glory and its mystery too. Often those afferent sands immeasurable, and those some alike of form or hue, shall hang upon the spirits like a spell, yet then shall recollections bright and true of thine own land like waters from a well rise to refresh thee. Vale and pastoral stream and cottage smokes that curl through evening air, and cultured plains, the populous city's teem, and voice of friend beloved shall all be rare, the thought of guerdon high from honor's hand, which ever progress through a dangerous land. Translation by John Kenyon. I found a port, hope, fortune, farewell ye, cheat others now, and love you've cheated me. Truth by John Kenyon. As stripling bonds from eastern clime we bring the tale we have to tell, was standing once upon a time beside the margin of a well, down which he peered him wistfully, as if full deeply pondering on matter which therein might be, some curious or some precious thing. While he paused and out vague, observing as he wandered by, was spake him, "What dost thou do here?" To whom the stripling made reply, "Good father, I've heard them tell how truth, our angel friend endowed, their food a dwelling in a well, they full fain would win her out. Now I prithee the boy, lift not that rope, with great experience made advice, the best we e'er may hope, truth and one is compromise. Or scorning that make sure fond youth, thou no art sowing years of strife, who needs with battle for the truth shall lead a mighty sorry life." The stripling heard the rope let go, never from that hour applied to such unthankful task. Hello, we come chief bones before he died. Winds of Doctrine by John Kenyon. The winds diverse of doctrine blown, old spurial, lately bigger fixed, have now no creed to call his own, but slants him on some two betwixt. So when, cross-meeting, force and force have smote one stationary ball, it takes no longer straightway course, but sidles to diagonal. Written in a country churchyard, by John Kenyon. Oh, how I hate the Cambros pride of plum and Poland, Scotch and hers, no ring and ready tide of venal prose and lying verse. Now the city's churchyard drive of close compacted crowds of deed, and clock the thoughts of stern strife, but I consent to lay my head at where mid Quantock's waving scene of brow and glen, some village church, from forth a coppice clustering green projects its grey and simple pork, from whose worn seat the eye may view brown upland slope and cattle plain, and farther still the summit's blue of hills that skirt the channeled main. There near in some quiet nook may we our place of resting have, let a broad majestic oak with its green branches near the grave. The costly stone for us be planned, with palisading stern and high, as if from truth scenting at hand to fanciful flattery graven lie. Of the turflet sun and air and dew the blessed influence fling, and rosy children gather where the earliest violets of a spring. There let the cuckoos of told story be heard at flush of morning light, and there the pensive nightingale shall requiem half a summer night. Written in Richmond by John Kenyon. Time swept along in summer pride, sparkling beneath the verdant edge, a frolic kiss as half denied light airs the glancing of the tide, or whispering in the secret sedge. Cheerful the landscape's sunny green, yet still in pensive mood reclined, pondering of things to be or been, ashamed at many a vision seen, of fear before, of grief behind. The insect tribes but newly born were flaunting in the awakening ray. In me there woke no touch of scorn. I saw the frail but mourn to mourn the kindred doom of man's decay. For here of old his booty won, the Dane caroused in barbarous glee, or Roman veteran, toil fordone, lay stretched banner for western sun and dreams of pleasant Italy. or floating by in gallant show, gay beauty glanced at monarch's jest, nor marked where, high above her prow, with mirth and wine and music's flow, sat change, a dark and threatening guest. Where mirth is sped, where gravest theme sleeps for things that cease to be, where longest life a morning gleam, a bubble bursting on the stream, and swept to time's unfathomed sea. Yes, all, then of all change and chance, and passing like the passing river, was sigh shout, the dreamer's trance, and monarch's jest and beauty's glance, were human all and gone forever.